Hello, I am live. First off, I would like to say if I look scary, really sorry. I just feel like I look really scary. Should I change colors? Like, look at this. This looks even more terrifying. Maybe a blue. It's even worse, I think. I'm just gonna go with the white. So, hello. How's everyone doing? Um, the book I'm reading. I don't know when Bisma's joining. It's me and Bisma today, which will be very fun. But I'm currently reading To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. And it's very exciting. Oh, wait, I need to do a quick thing really quickly. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I just need to do a quick little insertion of something else. So hopefully my internet doesn't go haywire again. Because it always seems to go haywire. I don't know why. It just must be my 3G that just goes absolute shite. But um I have a little blanket here, so I'm doing what are you? Can I even show the thing? Oh my god, I can't even show it. Anyways, hi Jenna, how are you? What book are you reading? How many pages are you in the book? Why can't I press it? Oh my god, this is bad. Grand. Oh, there we are. There we are. Hello, Jenna. Tell us what book you're reading. Is it a good book? Is it a. Are you still reading? Is it The Cousins we were reading last time? I think that was the name of it. Are you still reading that book? Are you finished it? I literally just had my dinner and I came up here at like 56. I was like, holy shite sticks, I'm not ready at all. So obviously had to change out of my pajamas because of course I was wearing pajamas. What else should you be wearing on a Friday? It doesn't feel like a Friday for me though, because I have not done anything school related. Um Today I just literally chilled. I'm reading The Cousins. Oh, I've only 6 pages left. Oh, I hope you finish the book in this reading sprint. I'm hoping to finish, so I'm reading this book, To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and I've like 130 pages left, so I'm hoping to finish it because this reads really quick and I'm enjoying it. Are you enjoying your book actually, Jenna? Is it good? Hello, hello. I'm excited. Hello. What books are you reading? Tell us. What books are you excited about for this year? Because there's a lot of books. I know that A Court of Silver Flames is coming out really soon, like less than 2 weeks, I think, which is really crazy. And like Sergi Mass keeps on giving us little snippets, like such like teasing bits. Like today she gave out like the audiobook, like a snippet of someone, it's an audiobook, but the person's like saying a small bit of it. And it was so cool. It was like Nessa and Cassian staring at each other. I was like, yes, this is what I need. But yeah, I'm really excited. I read To All the Boys I've Loved Before like 2 weeks ago and it's so good. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, but I have to say, the little sister, Kitty, is kinda annoying me. I don't understand. Like in the movies I thought she was grand, but in the book, I don't know. She's like playfully kicking the shit out of her sisters. I'm like, I'm not here for this fun abuse, you know? God. I was thinking about the Snow Like Ashes book or second Mediator book by I've never heard of either of those books, but I might do a little Google search or like Goodreads search. That's what I always seem to do. My phone's on 50%, so we'll see if well, I have my charger here, so like I could just charge it. But then we have Snow Like Ashes book Mediator. Mediator. Maybe I shouldn't be using. Wait, I'm not actually going to do that because if I use the internet on my phone, it'll make it worse for this. So I'm not going to do that. But the books sound interesting. even though I don't know anything about them, but still. Yes, my book is amazing, and it's a lot of plot twists, which I love. Ooh, we love plot twists. They're really, I don't know, plot twists. They're so cool because you think, oh, calm, cool, collected. The book is going so well, and what do you know? Someone loses a leg. Someone actually lost two fingers. Plot twists. They're great. I'm reading The Crown of Midnight. Oh yes, that's the second book I think in Throw Glass. That's cool. Who's your favorite character now? I know you said Selena in the last one, but like, is it still Selena? It might be Nehemia. Um, it may be Dorian's dad, which is highly unlikely because he is just the definition of worst human alive. But whatever floats your boat. Your internet is just as bad as mine. Are you from Ireland? I are you Irish? I think you're Irish. If you're from Irish, if you're from Irish, if you're from Ireland, our internet is quite bad. I didn't even know our internet in a whole countrywide is bad until my brother, who's like goddamn tech genius, told me. I was like, it seems grand to me. I mean, slightly grand. Kitty in the books is a bit annoying. Yeah, I don't know. She seems like spoiled, but also like brutally honest. I don't know how to think about her, but I actually totally forgot how the letters were sent out. Obviously, they were sent out to all her loves. I can't remember how they were. In the movie, I think it was her sister. I think, anyways, I could be talking jack shit, but I think it's her sister who like sent out all the letters. Maybe I don't know, but they never just said any. They never said it in the books. They might do it in the like last page, which would be a bit weird. Whenever I go live, Naruto Minecraft style pixel. Oh, that's so funny. Like, do I look really scary? I have my LED lights on to give me some brightness, which I was watching a video today on Instagram, and it was saying how, like, basically we're being corrupted by technology, and just people have robots in their house, the Hey Google or Hey Siri robots. We're being manipulated. And oh my God, like earphones, especially those Apple ones, when they're wireless, Bluetooth is actually way worse to use. Wires is so much better because the I was trying to say to my parents like radiology, radioactive, radioactive activity. I don't know, but like it's obviously going through our brain to hear the sound, but like it's touching our brain, and it's probably really not good for us. So, anyways, but back to my LED lights. I can change colors if you like. I did red. It looked like honestly, I'm in a club. If we just play some music, honestly, I'm in the clubs. Yeah. Oh my God, it looks so scary. Maybe we should go back to white. Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm British. Oh yeah. I don't know how the internet is in Britain, but probably same as Ireland. Shite. That's her sister in both. Wait, what? I'm just so confused with this one. I'm actually retired. I can't remember like literally 5 minutes ago or anything. Oh yeah. Wait, what? No, never mind. This is why I like doing videos where I can edit out like me talking shit. I like kid you not, my February TBR, it was like 20 minutes long. I got it down to 6 minutes. Honestly, I was taking out chunks, 30 seconds, chunks taken out. She's a bit too honest for my liking. Yeah. Like I love honesty in a person. I think it's a really great trait to have. But there's honesty and there's just like harsh. Like really harsh. And I don't know, even though she's only 9, which I feel like in the movie she seemed like she was like 15 or something, but only 9. I can't remember what I was doing when I was 9. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I do. I was probably like cycling up to my cousin's house. That's what oh my God, my 10 to 12-year-old, 10 to, no, 9 to like 11-year-old me cycling every goddamn day up to my cousin's farm. Went on the bales. I heard some horror stories about these bales that someone actually like fell down the hole one time and they were stuck there. terrified of Bales ever since, but I still love Bales. Yes, Kitty, since yeah, I remember that, but it hasn't said it in the book yet, which is weird. Unless I like skipped it somehow. Hopefully, it's not like the last page as like a plot twist or something, because it would be really. I don't know. Actually, it would be because I've watched the movie, so I know it is what it is. But if it's someone who hasn't read these or watched these, it would make sense that this would be the end of the. It would be in the end of the book as a little plot twister. Kitty sends the letters in book and the. When are we going to find out? Oh God, I can't be looking at the end of the book because I'm not even done it yet. We should have to do live sprint one. Yes! Oh my God. So one of my goals, I do like monthly goals. Um, and I want to do 3 live sprints on my channel this month, which we're doing one already. And I want to join like one other person's, like I don't know who, I don't even care who it is. It could be like a turtle if he's doing like a live sprint. Um, very unlikely. Does he have hands? I don't know. Can you hear my dogs? Honest to God, filming in this room, in my room, the hardest thing because these dogs never stop barking. God damn, they have some lungs on them. I'm not even gonna lie, some lungs. They altered her age in the movie because the actor was like 14. Ew. Yes. Is the movie the third one coming out this month? I'm pretty sure it is. I was having like a debate with myself for like 5 minutes and like if it was coming out, and I literally could have just looked it up. But I still haven't looked it up. I think it's revealed in the book. Yeah, when I looked there, it said like something like good sister, so I'm assuming um it said like at the end. So I really want to finish it though, because this is such a quick book. And oh my God, I was watching me and my endeavors at like 12 o'clock onwards. I watched this video on this YouTuber, or not on this YouTuber. I went onto a booktuber's video. Oh, why does that sound so weird? And she like announced that she's doing like a Jacqueline Wilson like readathon like next week, which so exciting. And I've never been so gassed and excited about a readathon in my whole life because Jacqueline Wilson was my childhood. Jacqueline Wilson, Judy Curtin, those skinny fairy books, those books with the dogs on them. And always like has a sad story, like the dog was homeless, but that by the end of the story he had like a really good family. And I brought this book just in case, like I finished this one, maybe. And this is Jacqueline Wilson, Clean Break. This has the iconic Trace. I was going to say Tracy Beaker. Is that her name? I don't know. But I have so many of Jacqueline Wilson's books. Like I literally woke up this morning, went to a cupboard, found all the books. There is many. I'm so excited to read them all. I'm so excited. Where am I? If I remember, like near the end, maybe. Yeah, it's probably near the end. As a little good old like cliff. No, it wouldn't be a cliffhanger to be fair. Yes, yes. I think it's coming out soon. Is it? I don't know. It's the 5th of February today. I feel like it's coming out like the one something. The that made no sense. The movie's coming out. Even though I don't really do YouTube, I would love to join. You should. Oh my God. You could join the one now if you want. Because Bisma's supposed to be joining, but I have no idea when she is, and I literally forgot to send her the link. So I sent it to her like 20 minutes ago. Or not 20 minutes ago, like 20 minutes ago if it was 6 o'clock. I literally forgot. I was like, yeah, she's joining. I was like, shit, Sarah, you forgot the goddamn link. So it was fun. Jenny, you should totally join whenever I'm doing another one. I really like doing them on Friday, like this time. I don't know. It seems like a good go-to time. But you should join. I will text you if I'm doing another one. Movie's coming the 12th. Oh my God, that's like 6, 7 days. Holy moly! Did he actually like the movies? Imagine I was like a secret hater of the movies. But like for some reason, I liked the first movie. It was good. I didn't really like the second movie ish. Like I was skipping a lot. I don't know. I didn't really like. I don't know. Really don't know. Yeah, I'll definitely do a reading sprint too. We should just all join. Join forces, do a reading sprint. It would be so fun. I'm joining. Oh, are you joining that one? Yeah, I put it on my Instagram just in case because I wanted to spread the awareness. Because obviously I have a big ass platform. I'm joking, but I wanted to spread it because I was so excited, and if anyone who followed me and saw the story was like keen too, I was like, God damn, yes, more people. Are you doing it? Oh, that's class. That's class. I'm really excited. I think it's next week that it's starting. I'm so excited. Like, I'm so gassed about it. Yes, I have so many. I just collected loads of hers. It's my goal to read all her books. I would love to read all her books, but that would just be so many books. Actually, I don't. I know, because obviously I read all the ones from like 10 years ago. Or not all of them, but from 10 years ago, I read a lot of. Is that Bisma? Bisma!
Yes.
Oh, how are you?
I'm good. Why can't I see you?
Do you not see me? My
No, all
black
I
screen.
see. Yeah, it's just
Wait,
a black screen.
I don't know because I can see me. Should I refresh? Okay, I might leave. So like, wait, give me a sec.
It's me hosting the show again. To everybody who is here this time. Hi, everybody. I'm this time.
I'm back. Wait, can you see me?
I see you. I see you.
Yeah, it was weird because when I left, it said like error. It's not your fault, but there's an error. I was like, okay, that's good. I left.
Can you hear me good this time?
I hope it's not my internet. Like, I swear to God, if it's my internet again, I cannot be dealing with this internet of mine because you are frozen. This is not good.
Can you hear me better?
You're still frozen. Oh, wait, no, you're back. Wait,
Am I good?
are you frozen again?
Am I good?
No, you're frozen again. Oh wait, no, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Am I good?
Slightly. Yeah. Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god.
Internet.
Wait,
I actually hate the internet sometimes because like it makes it so hard to like communicate when it's lagging all the time.
I know. Wait, but can you hear me?
She's bad. Yeah, I can hear you now, but it might like
Like,
if okay, I just want to preface. If it looks like you like ask me a question and I don't say anything or I don't make any facial expressions, it's probably because I didn't hear you. Because I could just the internet just went totally out. So I just want to say that just in case.
okay. They say that they can hear me, so I think maybe it's you.
You sound like a robot.
Wait,
Is this just for me? Is it for anyone else?
guys, do I sound okay, or
Or
is it just Sarah? Please let us know. Oh God.
this is this is not good. This is not good. Wait, it might be mine. You know.
I can see you perfectly though. I don't know. Oh, okay. They say that I sound fine. I don't know. Maybe it's you. I can see you perfectly.
This is so bad. You're literally frozen, and then you sound like a robot. I think it's my internet. I don't know.
Oh my God.
What's happening?
Sorry, guys.
Oh, this is not good. Oh,
I was late. I was late because my class ended a little bit later, so I barely had any time to get ready. So I just put on the shirt and was like, "I'm here."
Oh no, you're grand. You're grand. I literally just had dinner before this, so I was like rushing up here. I almost forgot to send you the link too. I was like, Jesus Christ, Sarah, you're so dumb.
It's okay. We're here. We're doing it.
We're here now. That's all that matters. We Are Here. I've read so many Jacqueline Wilson books. Yeah, her books. Have you read Jacqueline Wilson books? Or like what was your childhood books that you read?
I read a couple of her books, but I read them more towards like middle school. Like they were my books in middle school. I was obsessed. Like from the ages of like what was it, like 11 to like 14. I loved her books and they were so easy to read. They were like what, like 100 pages? But my childhood books, like for it's so basic, but like Percy Jackson were like my childhood. I loved those books. And I'm happy you're finally reading them. She left again, guys. I'm just gonna run the show. Who else has Jacqueline Wilson books? Yes, no. Have you heard of them? Yeah. What are we reading right now? Right now, I like ebook a lot more. These reading friends have forced me to read my physical books, so I'm happy about that. I have been wanting to read this for so long.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You just kicked me out. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna change internet. I can hear you now and see you. This is great. Okay, this is great. I heard Percy Jackson is. Yeah, it's great.
You can hear me well?
I'm very happy.
Great.
So you read Percy Jackson when you were younger?
Yes. But like, if we're talking about, like, what childhood are we talking about? Because I still consider myself a child, like, in my preteens. Like, I'm still a kid, you know?
Yeah, maybe like 10 years old. Is that like a good...
Well, honestly, I didn't become a reader. Like, I used to not really like books until I was in middle school. Like, that's when I was like 11, 12, 13, that's when I was like, yes. You know, I was actually a really slow reader in school, and you know, like they had reading levels, and I was never high on the reading levels. And then when I went to middle school, like I just picked up a book. I just picked up like, I guess in my middle school they had like a really big library, so it really made me want to read them. And I was like, oh my god, these are beautiful! Like I've never seen this many beautiful books before. So I just like picked them up, and I remember reading Harry Potter for the first time. It was insane. Like I was insane. I would not eat. I finished the first 2 books in one day, and I would just sit and read. And like my mom would want to, my mom would want to murder me. I remember, and it's so sad because I'll never be able to read a book like that again. Like, you know, when you're a child, like you can do whatever you want, you know, like you don't have other things. You can just do whatever. So I would just sit and read, like physically. I wouldn't even read like, you know, at the time ebooks weren't a big thing. It was like all physical copies. I was just like reading, and I was obsessed. And then after that, obviously, as the books got bigger, I couldn't read them anymore. It was so I miss like that type of childhood when you can read whatever you want because you don't have anything to do. It's just so beautiful. I miss that, like the innocence and the fun. It can't be replicated. Like as you get older, it's just like you have to take time out and specifically plan when you're gonna read. It kind of really sucks.
It like takes away the like magical element of reading, I feel like.
I know it does. And you know what sucks is like I don't want to be like every time I'm like, oh, my first book was Harry Potter. I feel like everybody just rolls their eyes because I feel like it's everybody's first book, but it really was like the one that really got me into reading was that. And then a couple months later, after I finished the series, I stumbled upon City of Bones, and like I remember the cover of City of Bones was so ugly, and I was so confused. I was like, the only reason why I picked it up was because I saw New York City on it, and I was like, hey, like, I live in New York.
I feel represented.
Yes, I read it, and then I was like, holy shit, like this, like the cover is ugly, but the book was good. And then from there, I binged it. But I was so, you know, honestly, I was happy that I found the books later because I didn't have to wait to finish City of, like, that series. I could just read it then. So it made me really happy. But also, like, reading books, like, and anticipating them, it sucks when you have to wait months. But there's something special about it, too. Isn't it special, like, when you're like, oh, like, I remember when Queen of Nothing was coming out, I was like, oh, shit, like, I am getting ready. Like, I'm preparing. Like, this is going to be the best thing in the world. I, like, prepared. myself. I like reread the books twice, and I was like, I'm so ready. Like I'm ready for this whole book.
You know all the details. You're so ready.
I'm like, yes, I'm ready. I know the plot line. I know the characters. Like I can do this.
I know all the side characters. I know the characters who died on page 1.
Yeah, she was not kidding. And sorry, this is not a spoiler, but she was really not kidding. Like Holly Black does not care. She'll kill off your favorite characters.
She's cutthroat. She does not give two shites. She's like, they're gone. If I don't want them anymore, they're gone.
She's like, they serve their purpose. They're done. Get them off the stage.
I read To All the Boys I Loved Before recently. I found Margot annoying. I feel like
the older sister.
Yeah, that's the older sister. I feel like she's not a lot in the book because she's gone abroad, sure, for college. I suppose if she was like a big older protective sister, and that could be seen. It's just the younger sister. I don't know. She's doing bad stuff for me.
Honestly, like I didn't hate the older sister because I understood like where she's coming from. Her sister like hid this whole truth from her. Her sister literally wrote a letter to her boyfriend. Like that's weird. Like if I found out my sister did that, I'd be like, oh, what's going on here? Explain it.
Yeah.
The younger sister, like she really annoyed me, but I feel like in the movie they make her so much better. Like, does that make sense? Like, I like her so much better in the movies. Like in the books, she's this annoying, pestering kid.
I hate her in the book. I just can't.
I know. And honestly, for me, I read the first 2 books in the series, but each, like, after To All the Boys I Loved Before, like, that was the first book that I really loved. Like, I loved how it was written. But then, like, I read the second one, and it was, like, mediocre at best. So I was like, okay. And then I have the 3rd book. Like, I have all the books. But honestly, I'm even considering, like, selling them because I don't have a strong connection with them. Like, I love the movies so much better. I feel like the directors did a really, really good job. And I feel like every character is so much more fleshed out. And you get to see, like, everybody's perspectives. Even, like, Margot's perspective. You know, that's why I don't hate her. Because even in the movies, you get her perspective. And, like, a lot of people were mad at her for breaking up with, like, Josh and stuff in the book.
Oh, I love Josh.
Honestly, I didn't like Josh. I thought he was annoying. I was like, you are the most blandest man I've ever met. Like, I don't know. I think maybe it's because I don't like guys next door. I'm like, I don't care about you. Yeah. Like, wow, you're my neighbor. Great, whatever.
Fuck you, Josh.
Yeah, like what? Like my neighbor is like a fucking vampire? I'm not interested. Also, it's awkward. Like, if you get with your neighbor and then you guys break up, how awkward is that? You guys are stuck living together for, like, however long.
And because they're so close, especially in this one, they're, like, inseparable. He always comes over, and they, like, break up, and it's like, why are you coming over? Like, what?
I know. And then it makes the family, like, the dynamic weird because they're used to him being around. And it's, like, it's a whole situation. It's, like, it's really, I just couldn't do it. I never have liked the guy next door just because I feel like, no offense to them, like I get their appeal, like they're really cute and fun, whatever, but that's just I just don't know. I don't really like the vibe. Especially like not with Josh. I felt like he was really a dick a lot in the book. Like he was really, I was like, are you serious? Like you can't even pick one sister. It made me really mad because I was like, I'm sorry, is this a spoiler? It made me mad because I was like, oh, we all know the reason why he's getting with her is because, you know, Margot broke up with him. And so now he's like, if I can't have one sister, I'll have the other. And that's weird. That's weird.
So, he's like, he's trying to keep, he obviously doesn't have Margot anymore. He's just trying to keep, like, his connections with the family, I feel like. Because just, like, when Margot comes back, he's, like, there to, like, prance and get her.
Yeah. And, you know, I feel like I really didn't like him because, you know, for me personally, like I believe when you break up with somebody, you can't be friends immediately after. Like you have to have that time apart because then the boundaries are not going to be formed, you know, because your relationship is not the same anymore. You know, you have to have the break. But he just didn't understand that. Like he was showing up at her doorstep all the time. I was like, sir, she broke up with you. Let her chill out.
I was watching this, I don't know, it's a YouTube channel. It's a YouTube channel. It's either called Jubilee or Cut, but it was a video on like 2 recently separated people, and they're still like they have like a trailer together, but they still live together and like sleep on the same bed, but they're separated. I'm like, lads, you need some time apart. You need to go to your parents' house. You need to go to a parent's house, fuck the trailer. They're literally sleeping in the same bed, and they're like, oh yeah, we just have our little like corners. But like they admitted too that they've had like sex a couple times after the separation. I'm like, lads, you need to get your
times. It's too convenient.
And the director was like, have you done it this week? And they were like really skeptical. And I was like, ye have. Oh my god, that's great though.
I just can't. For me, like if I've ever been in a situation like that, I just X you out of my life until I'm okay again. Because it's like, for me, I know that it's just not healthy. Like, how am I supposed to get over you if you're in my face 24 hours in a day? Like, I can't be like, oh, I'm moving on. And then I just, the next, it's like my Instagram story of us hanging out. Oh my god.
I'm so moving on.
My friends have done that. So many of my friends have done that. They're like, I swear I'm done with him. And then I'm like, why do I, what is
this? It's like, no, just stop. Just get away from each other. You don't need to be near each other.
And, people are like, oh, for some people it's different. Like, some people you can actually be over somebody in like a couple of weeks, but most of the time it takes months. Okay, it depends on how long the relationship was. And what really annoyed me about Josh from To All the Boys was like, you guys were together for how long? Like a lot of years. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? That she's gonna be gone for one day and you're gonna come to her house and hang out with her family and it's gonna be okay? Like, I get it, you have a bond with this family, but at least let her have her time for herself and like get over this situation and like move on. You can't just show up at her house and just like sit with her family, even though you have a relationship with them. You have to give the family a break too.
I get though that he doesn't have a great family life, so he goes over to them for like partly for an escape, because like his parents are always like bickering and stuff. So I understand why he goes over so often when they're like having fights, but like not like every day. Often, let's say like 3 times a week, minimum or like maximum. But like not every day, if you know what I mean. Such enjoyment.
No, it's just weird. It's really weird.
I could invite you, Kish Kat. I have no idea what your name is. I'm just gonna say it's Kit Kat. I can invite you if you want. Just give a comment. I can invite. It says here, invite guests. I can do that if you want. If you would desire to do that. I love the first one, but I like the second one, but not as much. Yeah, I felt the same.
Me too. The second one, the only thing I really liked about it. Wait, Sarah, do you have headphones?
I have earphones.
Yeah, maybe put them on because I feel like the echo is happening because of that.
Oh yeah, they did. They always tell me to put on earphones for better sound, but I just never listen to them. I'm like, no, it's grand.
I know, it's so much better, but like, see, there's no echo. I have headphones on, so there's just no echo. Sorry, guys. Yes, but the second one was so much better. Like, not better. What am I trying to say? The first one was incredible. Like, amazingly done. I was like on the edge of my seat, like, yes, I cannot wait for the second one. But I think it's like really true what people see. Like, the echo is gone.
Is this?
Yes, and you sound much better.
Oh, we love a clear voice person. I was literally talking before you came here about earphones and like how they're like really bad for our brains. And look at me now. I'm goddamn wearing them.
It just sounds better on lives. I feel like, I don't know. That's why I always put them on. But they're so bad. Like, I swear, my mom will have a whole conversation with me. She'll think I'm in the conversation, but I'm listening on my headphones. Especially with like wireless headphones. You can't even see them. Look, it doesn't even look like I'm wearing them.
Yeah, I've seen people like talk and just be normal, but they have the things in their ear. I'm like, do I know? Am I talking to you? Am I just like talking to myself? Like, what's happening here?
That sucks. Like, there's some people who do it and they don't mean it, but sometimes, like, when you're having a conversation with somebody that you don't know that well, you shouldn't have your headphones in because it's like it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's respectful, because if I see somebody wearing headphones, my immediate reaction is to stay away from them and not bother them.
Yeah, because they're like in their own zone, so you're like, I don't want to like get in your way if you're in your own like world. Has been me.
Yeah.
This is when, oh my god, maybe I should not connect my phone into my computer anymore, because it was just honestly tragic. You sound you won't look lovely and clear. That's great. We're doing well. I hated Margot in the book because she was just way too controlling, especially towards Kitty. I suppose though she took on the mother role, which I understand.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. Like she had to be the mom. She's the mother. She has to be like more disciplinary. And like Lara Jean, she's just the older sister. She can be whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even me, like for my siblings, I feel like as now that we've gotten older, I'm less of like a mother figure. I'm more of like a sister now. But especially when you're younger, especially like how I grew up, like my parents, like they're both busy, so like I've had to kind of help out. So there's been moments when like I've had to like discipline my siblings in the way of like telling them not to do stupid things and telling them all this and that. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I feel like when you get older, you loosen up. But I also have a 12-year-old sister and I have a 14-year-old sister, and our dynamics are completely different. Like my 14-year-old sister, like we're more okay and like we're more friendly, but my younger sister, I love her to death and I all that, but I'm more of like an older figure for her, so I have to be like I have to be like, oh, did you do your homework today, all this stuff, because my parents are busy. So that's why for me, I understood Margot. Like I understood her character in the book, even though she's really busy. Like as an older sibling, I understood why she's like that. Of course she can handle it better, but how can you handle losing your mother? It's hard.
There's no way to like, there's not like a set rule book. Like there's not a book that says how to get over your parents dying. 101. Step 1. Stop grieving. Imagine if that was a book.
Don't be rude to your sibling.
We should make a book. How to get over grieving. It'll be like 1 page. Actually, it should be 2. Because the first page should be like acknowledgements. Thank you, parents, for, creating me for this moment. When you just joined, what's happening? I don't know. Oh my god, we've been talking, it's been on for 37 minutes, and oh my god, above and Jesus. So a lot's been happening. I don't know what exactly, but
we were just talking a lot of shit about To All the Boys I Loved before.
Yeah. Josh really just got it in there now. I feel sorry for him.
Josh.
My turn. Oh yeah.
That's why I hate like wired headphones. They're so easy to lose. Like so easy to lose. I've lost like so many pairs and spent so much money on them.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna get what are they called? Like earphones, but like
AirPods?
not. Yeah, but not wireless? With a wire. Yeah, wireless. Yeah. I don't think I'll ever, unless I don't know, someone buys it for me, even though highly doubtful. But yeah, I got that. She took on the mother figure, but it was very constant. She never took a minute to actually be a sister. I suppose she felt like she couldn't be a sister, because it's really weird. Unless you're in that situation, it's really hard to, I don't know. It's just really hard to think about it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like people deal with grieving in so many different ways, and I feel like after their mother's death, each of them took on another role. She like Kitty was the baby, so she was always going to be the baby. But Margot was the oldest, so she had to take over roles that her mother would do. And like their dad can only do so much. There's like things that dads can do, and there's things that moms are supposed to help with. Even like, of course, I'm not knocking like single dads. Like single dads can do a lot, but like there's things that a girl would wish that her mom would help her with. And for Margot, she had to become that. And even like for my siblings as well, like I feel like my sisters and I would talk more about like, when it's a lot of resentment when you're younger, but as you get older, you start to understand why they act that way and why they were rude and all that. It's not easy though. Of course, there's times where I'm like, oh my God, I was such a bitch. But it's like, I'm learning too. There's no handbook to be a sibling. It's like, you have to
There probably is on Goodreads.
I'm not reading it. I'm not gonna listen to some rando tell me how to. It's not like those parents. I'm not gonna listen to some rando tell me how to raise my kids.
Like a 70-year-old like guy just wrote a book. Have to be a sibling. Yeah, I had wired ones, but I lost them. Oh, I don't think I've ever lost wired ones.
I've lost so many.
So.
I've lost like so many. Spent so much money.
How much are they? I know there's knockoff ones, but like the Apple ones are probably.
They're $25. I think 25 or 40 or something.
Okay, that's grand. You know, obviously, if it's like an accumulation of 25, it'd probably be that.
But honestly, the reason why I like wireless headphones is because you can walk around and do whatever you're doing and just like leave your phone and just walk away and be like, okay. But the thing about, there's so many times when I had wired headphones that like I forgot that I was connected to my phone and it just like disconnected and fell on the floor and I was like, oh right, like I had that going.
Oh god. Yeah, that's true, unless it's you in the situation. Yeah. I feel like that's for like life in general, like every aspect of what happens to you in life, unless it's happened to you personally. I feel like it's really hard to give your opinion on a situation. Obviously, it's great to give opinions on stuff, but like, I don't know.
Honestly, we're playing devil's advocate. Like, we're just trying to see the different perspectives.
Yeah. I'm trying to see two sides.
I feel like Jenny Han, like in the first book, did such a good job, like fleshing out each character. But after that, like the books just didn't get better for me, in my opinion. And I love Jenny Han. I think she's incredible. But for me, it just like didn't make sense to continue the series when I was just like, the next Netflix movie is gonna come out, and I'm gonna watch it. And like, I don't think we talked about it, but like the second movie for me was, like I said, like the first one was gold. Like it was amazing. I think they did an incredible job. But the second one, I don't think it was the director's fault. I think it was just like the content of the second book as well. It was like, oh, but what if, even though she loves Peter, but like, what if one of the boys comes back? I thought that was so dumb. I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? And then,
she's keeping her ties open.
Yeah, and then we met him. I forgot, what is his name? I think John, maybe? John.
Is that a spoiler? Should we not say his name?
Oh, well, one of the guys comes back in the book, in the movie. I'm sorry if it's a spoiler, but I just felt like it was so dumb, and it also like really pissed me off in the movie when there's this character and oh my god, I can't even talk about it. Have we all watched it? Can I say this? Well, I'll just say that I just didn't like what Peter's character was doing. Like, I feel like you shouldn't. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk about it. I just didn't like how Peter's character was like done in the second book, or in the movie as well. Like, I just thought that it was so dumb. It's like the situation. A lot of the stuff could have been fixed if there was communication, or maybe that was the moral of the story, but it really pissed me off. I was like, because you know why? In the first book, they make Peter like seem so like sophisticated and understanding and all this shit, and like so open-minded and like good at talking to her and making her feel good. And in the second book, it's like all that shit flies out the window, and they're like, oh no,
he's a whole different new character.
Yeah.
On the second movies,
yeah. I loved like some of the scenes, like even though I didn't like some of the storylines going on, but I loved like the scenes at the retirement home and the dress and the snow and everything. I loved it, and I feel like they did it so well. They made it look so magical, and I was like, damn, like I wish I was there.
God damn it! What book are you reading? Actually, I don't think I asked.
Well, I'm ebooking a bunch of books, but for these reading sprints, I've been wanting to start There Will Come a Darkness. How beautiful is she?
Ooh,
she's so pretty.
That looks so good. Oh, it's like, what's your bookmark? If there's like 2 ears.
Oh, these, I bought these bookmarks like 4 years ago, and I just don't use them as much because I have my other one. But it's this cute one that I got.
Oh, the little pupper. Oh,
it says read a book, yo. It's so cute.
Oh.
I was getting ready for this. I was like, I need a bookmark, and I found these, and I'm so happy about them.
His little ears will pop up when you close the book. Do you want to do a
nice.
reading sprint now? I feel like it's we
Talk.
should. We've been talking for like 40 minutes. Okay, let me share my screen. So I decided to do 28 minutes too, because I was like putting up between, I don't know if I want to do 25 minutes or 30 minutes. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. 28 minutes seems pretty good.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself. That was a good reading time, I think, for myself anyways. How many pages did you manage to read?
Well, I read a couple. I got to like getting 10 or like 12 pages in, but it's really good. Like the plot is amazing. I
What's
feel like maybe
what's it about actually?
so it follows like a group of people, and whenever a fantasy follows a group of people, I automatically just think of Six of Crows because I'm insane.
Yeah,
like that.
same.
But it's basically that this place had like these 7 prophets who used to have these visions of the future, which like helped unite them and end wars and all this stuff. But they go missing, right? But before they left, they had this one secret prophecy. They're like was telling the people of this age of darkness, and that there was going to be one final prophet coming to them.
Okay.
And yeah, and this prophet could either be like the salvation that they've been looking for, or that he could like destroy the world. So yeah, and then it follows these groups of people. Like there's this one. Well, I've only been introduced so far to 2 characters. One is this girl who has this power to heal and also take people's lives, and she has to keep killing people to keep her sister alive because she doesn't really know how to use her power well. And then we follow the prince this prince. I usually hate princes because I think that, like they're so annoying. But him, like I guess he got banished from his kingdom or something, and a lot of people, like, we don't really know what happened to the kingdom, and now he's in this other place pretending to be somebody else because they all think that he's dead. So his people from his country have been displaced. So we are starting the book, and we see him pretending to not be himself and walking down the street, and he runs into this little boy who, tried to steal this food from this merchant, and the merchant's coming after him, and he recognizes this kid is from his palace and from his kingdom, so he helps him. And yeah, that's all I know so far, but it seems
that sounds
really
interesting
good.
though. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and then the art, the map, how pretty is the map?
Oh, that's really nice.
And a lot of
I love a good map.
Yeah, that's and the names are they give me very Greek names. Yeah, and it's really cool. It's really cool. I'm excited. Only 12 pages. I haven't read a good fantasy in a long time. So I'm excited.
In the book, I did 50 pages, I think, which is is pretty good. I'm flying through these pages. If you looked at me flipping through the pages at 2 times speed, I would flip and throw those guys so quick. But in the book, it mentioned a pub crawl, and then I was wondering does pub crawls happen in America? I'm assuming they do because I feel like they happen everywhere. But I think if you just go to numerous amount of pubs. Do you not have pubs?
No, we have pubs.
Okay.
We have pubs. Well, in New York, I know we have pubs for sure. But we don't have that many, and I haven't really been. And the drinking age here is
you're not
21.
legal, are you? Oh, that's so sad.
I've been to one, but you can go as long as you just eat the food and don't drink. So.
Oh yes.
The food was really good.
Hello, how are you? Hello, Emma. How are you? How's it going?
God, I was waiting for Emma to join.
Hello. Oh, it's probably 2 Emma. I read 107 pages. Or is that you read up to 107 pages?
I think she read 2.
Imagine reading 107 pages in 28 minutes. I could never.
I know. I can't. And my sisters came into the room, so I was trying to help her. So I was like, okay, let me pause for 2 seconds and go help her, and I'll be right back. But I love it. And for me, my pages are really big. So, but this is really good. I'm excited. I feel like I've heard when this first came out, I heard a lot of hype, and then it died down, and I never heard about it again. So
I've never heard of that book before.
I saw it. What happened was I saw it at the library, and then I was like, "Oh shit, this book is so pretty." And then I was at a store, and I was like, "You know what? It's here."
Yeah. Might as well just get it.
But books are so expensive, guys.
Yeah, thrift shops for them. Thrift shops.
Yeah.
Or charity shops. Or 40 pages. That's really good, Jenna. Oh, you're almost finished. You have like 20 pages left then, I think. So I think you said that you had 60 pages left. That's kind of cool. Nice. Yes, very nice. I read up to page 7. That makes sense.
Like 28 minutes. 100 pages. Wow.
I wonder how long you'd stay on one page then. Surely then like 5 seconds each page. I don't know maths at all, but like
me neither. I just don't get it. I don't get math. I just don't. Like my brain is just English and history. And
have you ever done integration? Have you done that?
No. What is that?
I hate it. I don't know what it is, but I remember I did not like it at all.
Okay.
If you're looking for a good book that's kind of similar to Six of Crows, you should read The Last Magician if you haven't. I've heard a lot about it.
I have the first 2 books. I remember, what's her name? Reagan from why am I forgetting her name right now? Everybody in the comments is gonna tell me. But Reagan, I feel like everybody knows who she is. She's like a big booktuber. I don't know why her YouTube name
is she blonde?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I don't know her name, but I know who she is.
She recommended it a lot, and so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna read it. And but I haven't read it yet. But it's so big. Like the first book is like, it's
how many pages?
It looks like it's like at least 600 plus pages.
Ooh, that's a big old
boy. And then the second book is even bigger.
Oh, that's great. Gotta love it. I don't really mind big books. I think after I read the book It, which is like 1,200 pages, I'm like 900 pages or 800 pages, like no problem.
Is it worth it? Is it worth reading it? I feel like I should just watch the movie.
You should watch the movie first and then read the book. I feel like because it'll make a lot more sense. Because the beginning of the book of It is really, really confusing, I feel like, and pointless in some bits. But I still really like the message behind it of like childhood magicalness. Yeah,
but for me, like I love watching like true crime, so I don't get scared. Like I'm obsessed with like watching like true crime videos, like other than BookTube. Like, that's why I was agreeing with you, because I feel like I don't watch as much BookTube, and recently I have been watching more. But as of like before that, my main like content is like true crime videos. I love watching true crime videos. I love watching like what else? I watch like random shit. Like lately I've been watching like video essays on different topics.
Interesting.
I was watching like a video topic about like Bridgerton, and I love watching when people.
I haven't watched that.
I hate it. I have never watched it, but a friend of mine like watched it for me. So she like told me about this scene that was just so messed up that they didn't have a trigger warning or something for it. It was really messed up. And like Bridgerton, I just don't like it. It's just like the casting, they try to make it seem like it's very inclusive and everything, but I don't feel like it's as inclusive as it could have been. And they're like, oh, we're doing blind casting, all of that, but I feel like it didn't do anything. And a lot of the people that were in it, like who are people of color, just like the most messed up shit happened to them. Like there was this one girl, and there was this one really beautiful Black girl who was in the show, who wasn't like main character, and like her ending storyline is so sad. I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video so you can watch it yourself, because I watched this girl do it and she broke it down better than me, and I don't want to sound like an idiot right now. Because that's what I remember basically, but it's just like there's a lot more stuff messed up with this book that I can't even. And a lot of people who read the books hate it. So.
That's not good.
And we shouldn't even get into the author. The author is so problematic.
Is she?
I forgot exactly for what, but the girl, she mentions it in her video, so you can watch it.
So mad. The only thing I know for authors that are problematic is J.K. Rowling. Like, I don't really keep up to date with like authors and their shenanigans, but like I know definitely her. She's a dodgy one. Yeah, I'm not sorry. Honestly,
for me, it like really, like I said, I love Harry Potter, so for me, like it really messed me up, because it's like how can I support this and then like support her? I wish like there was a way to like separate the book from her, but there's just like I don't know. That's why like you know what happened? In the middle of that controversy, I remember I was rereading the books. It had been like almost 2 years since I had read them, so things were a little bit hazy for me. So I was in the middle of a reread. I think I was like on the fourth book. Like I was about to start Order of the Phoenix, and that whole situation happened. And then I was like, oh no. And then I put down the books, and it's been like 3 months.
Down. I still haven't read the books. I've had them for like 4 years now, and I still not have read them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'll ever read them. I'm not gonna lie.
Harry Potter is like, it's a binge series. So I would say like, if you want something to binge and like read, because for me, in my opinion, like the books suck you in, but the books where it really gets good is Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the third book. That's when I was like, I'm hooked. Like this is amazing. Like I wanna do it. Like she built it up. It was insane because of the way that the story building was. It was like and also because in the books, you know, they're kids, so they start off at like 14 or something. But by that book, like they're a decent age. I think they're like 16 in the book or something. But as they get older, in the wizarding world, like their storylines get bigger and they can do more things and they can like be these teenagers and like do shit and like understand how their world works. And that's what I got really good for me. So that's why I always love rereading. For me, like I don't mind the first 2 books, but they're not my most favorite. Like Prisoner of Azkaban is like one of my most favorites of the whole series. I love Sirius Black so much. Like that man has my heart. You can like stop
is that
on
like the snake guy?
No, Sirius Black is Harry Potter's father's best friend, and he's also Harry Potter's godfather.
Do I remember him?
I don't think you know. I don't think you do because he's not mentioned until I think in the 3rd book. Because they don't mention him or his existence at all until the 3rd book. Because, well, I don't want to spoil it, but I don't think it's a spoiler. It's just like he escapes prison. So that's when they're like, okay, Harry, we got to sit you down and tell you about your crazy godfather.
Oh, yes, like, I remember him now from the movies. Oh.
Yeah, and remember he got like convicted for betraying James and Lily, like the parents. And it was like a whole storyline. And then I love that one too because of what was it, like Hermione's necklace where she could turn back time. I thought that was so cool. That was such a cool.
Oh yes, it's all coming back to me now.
I know, and then I remember because for me it was so much fun because once a month I would dedicate like reading one Harry Potter book. So I would be like, okay, you can read other books, but you also have to read one. And then I would watch the movie after, and it was so much fun. And then
that'd be so nice.
Just ruin it for me, and I was like, well, welcome.
Yeah. They mentioned the 3rd book too being the best in this series or this book too. So, I just wanted to say that.
It's really good. Honestly, like also I think for me it's the 3rd book and then the last book. I think it was insane. Like it was whirlwind energy. I was like, whoa, like what's going on here? What just happened?
Them books are so thick though. I remember them being they're like this thick, I'd say.
Huge. I remember the last book, it took me a week to read. And I remember I was in middle school, so I had all the time in the world. Now it probably took me a whole month to like put in the energy to finish that whole big monster. But but the only book that's done that to me since like that happened, oh my god, was House of Earth and Blood. Oh my, that's funny. When I started that, I literally started it with being like, you know, for me, I was mad because I was like, where's Cassian and Nesta's book? Like, why am I getting this another world? Like, I was like, Sarah, you need to finish this world. Like, you need to stop making other books. You need to chill out. You need to give me my book. And then I started it. And then the first 10 pages, and like, I know for a lot of people, they were like, oh my God, it's so slow. But I love learning about Bryce. I was like, tell me more about Bryce. She's so, I don't know, so relatable. Like all of the characters in the books, the other books, like are cool. Like they're really cool. But you know, in the Throne of Glass series, I feel like for me, Lysandra was like my favorite. Like I got her. I was like, yes, I get you. Like you're like, everybody thinks that you're so bad, but you're not, and you just like are trying to survive. Like, I really loved her energy. And of course I love Aelin and I love Rowan and everything, but for me, I always saw them as like, in my head, like, you know what I'm saying, like they were just like friends. Like for me, like they were like my friends. Like I would never want to be them. Like I would love to cosplay, but like I would never like be them. Like, you know, like in a book where you're like, that's my character. Lysandra was always that. And her and Aiden, like I can't ever say his name right. Why does Sarah have such complicated names?
I know.
I call him Aiden, but I'm pretty sure that's not how you say his name. I'm sorry.
What do I say? Aiden?
Yeah,
Adion. Adion? It's probably Adion. Because he has an O. Adion. It sounds so weird though.
Adion, well, he was, and then like for me, just like watching their like love story unfold was just so satisfying. Like I was like, yeah. There was no like, well, there was like, yeah, we know, like there was like tension like towards the end, but like there was no doubt that she was gonna be with him in the end. With like, it was like there were like 5 guys. Like,
there was so many. Oh my god, the Cataray, is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm.
Rowan's little group of
the cat,
homies.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes,
I loved them.
All of them. I was like, yeah, I could imagine me being with either one of y'all. So
Fenris. I think Fenris was my favorite. I don't even know if that's how you say his name. Fenris.
That's what I call him. And then Gabriel. I call him Gabriel, but my sister was making fun of him.
Yeah, Gabriel. That's what I say.
Gabriel, and then
I literally can't remember the other guys.
Isn't Gabriel Adian's
Oh
dad?
No, it's definitely a spoiler if someone hasn't read it. Everyone who just heard that that hasn't read it either. That's
just press control. Sorry, guys.
This one was actually lying. She's not being truthful.
Thank you.
Yeah. On that note,
anyway,
do you want to do a reading sprint? Oh my god.
Nobody heard what I just said. Let's just pretend
nobody heard.
That didn't happen.
It didn't happen at all. Nothing happened.
But also, if you haven't read Throne of Glass by now, what are you doing? Read it. Be done with it.
Well, I know that Draw for Fun.
She's reading
it. Yeah. She's on the second book.
Mm-hmm.
She's a great journey to go for. Honestly, those books, I've reread them like twice, I think. Absolutely love them.
Yeah, honestly, the thing about like series that are that long is that you just need to do it because they look so intimidating. I get why people are so intimidated by Sarah. Like her books, they're huge. But trust me, I feel like it's gonna be worth it. And that's why for people who just like automatically judge her books before reading them because they've heard bad things from other people, I just think that her and like Sandra Clare's books are like, you can have your own opinion, but don't do it until you read them so you can know for sure like these are not for you.
Yeah, I always see on Goodreads, especially for Cassandra Clare's book, people saying that she should just stop writing this many books. I'm like, why would you leave that comment? Like they're saying like she writes too many books and stuff. I'm like, what? Why do you do that?
Well, I mean, for example, like she wrote, like I get it, she wrote a lot of books in that world, but they keep selling every time, so she's not gonna stop as long as people keep reading.
She's getting the money.
Right. I just pre-ordered Chain of Iron in like a subscription box, so I'm so excited. I'm gonna unbox that. It's gonna be so much fun. I hadn't bought a book, like an expensive book in a long time. So I was like, I'm gonna buy it. And so she can keep giving me books. She can give me 50 books on the same characters. I'll keep reading. So
I don't think I'm gonna pre-order the books because I really want to go into the shop and buy them. But we're not out of lockdown till March, so I won't actually be able to read it till like middle of March, late March.
That's okay because it comes out in March, so you have time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it comes out in March. There's a box. The box is being shipped out in March, and then I think I checked it, and I think it's coming out in March.
Interesting. I thought for some reason it was coming out in the same month as Cassian and Nesta. But maybe not. Okay, let's do a reading sprint.
Actually, this is so much better because I'm actually really into this.
Yeah, the last book, Dorian Gray, he really wasn't doing it.
No, I was like, no, Sometimes classic make me feel like I'm an idiot. I'm like, do I not understand the English language?
Yeah, literally. Okay. Who's ready? I'm gonna press start now. Happy reading, everyone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, how was the reading? Was it good?
Yes, I got introduced to another character, finished the chapter with the first two characters. It's interesting. I like it a lot. It's like it's doing this cool thing, which kind of reminds me of The Last Airbender, where they're all in like a similar city, but
Yeah.
but they're living completely different lives. So it's interesting to see like different perspectives, but they're all in the same place, but they have no idea who each other is. So
I
it's
like
cool.
that. I like that a lot.
Right, like they're all around the same areas, so it's really cool in the sense that one character will mention like these gardens, and then in the next character's point of view, he's at these gardens, and it's like, wow, like that's cool.
They're like tailgating each other.
Yeah, like it's like wow. She'll be like, there's these gardens that are so beautiful. And the next chapter, he's like, I'm at the gardens, and I'm like, oh, that's great.
Cassandra could carry on writing till I'm 19 and I've read them all. Yeah, same. That's how I feel about Cassandra Clare, Sarah J. Maas.
I would read her books for the rest of my life if I could.
Yeah, or the rest of her life, if you think about
it. Oh, yes, the rest of her life.
That's so morbid to think about, though. I have to go, but I'll try and join. Oh, bye, Jenna. Have a good evening.
How's your book going?
I'm on page 356 now. I've only like 50 pages left, but it's going well. I mean, it's grand. I don't think this is a 5-star. It's more like a grand, easy, fun book, I feel like. But it wouldn't be like, wow, this is spectacular. Like, my socks have flown off my feet. This is so amazing.
Yeah, I feel like when I first read it, what I really loved was just like the family aspect. Like, I love how close they were.
I really like that aspect. I love family and like sibling relationships in books. I think there should be more. I just love it so much.
And I like how like in each book it's a different like type of family connection. They're not like all the same. But this book, I just loved how they would like bake together, have dinner together, just be so close.
Yeah,
you know, like
I feel
after the loss of a parent, like it could like make people go farther away, but for them they're just like closer together. So it made me really happy.
I only have 80 pages left to Alley Room. Oh, that's a bit crazy.
I need to read that. I need to read that bad.
What I have like the last 80 pages
to read.
I feel like I should go over. I feel like I should go over and get the book so I know what happens in the last 80 pages. But I know it's the last bit of the book is so good and it's so fast paced. Okay, I'm just gonna run and get the book.
Okay.
So I have to see what's going on. God, there's so much shit around me. I'm like trapped.
My fairy lights ran out of batteries, so I get batteries from, and it makes me so sad because I have like these fairy lights right next to my bed. So I just put them on every night right before like I go to sleep because I'm insane and I love to like stay up. And after I'm done reading, I still like to look at my book. So I love it.
We got the book. This book is so beautiful. Have you seen? Isn't that just like the most beautiful thing ever?
It's so pretty. I love it.
They're inside too. Okay, so the last 80 pages. Let us see.
Okay, but look at this book. I'm so angry. Like, look, it's so pretty, but on the inside, it's just like a basic cover. So it doesn't like. It's just this.
That's still a nice color, though.
I know it still stands out, and I like what she did with this. It looks like it's a silver color, but I feel like there's so much room to like do something. Put a symbol.
They probably
like,
They didn't want to spend their money. They were probably trying to keep their expenses low.
They were like, we spent all the money on the cover.
Yeah. It's like we can only go so far. I don't know though. Oh, give me your Lucy when you're finished it. DM me being like, wow, this book was either so shit or like so good. I'm hoping you like
This
it.
one?
You're liking it.
Yes. I'll let you know.
Oh, I literally can't say her name. I remember in one of my videos I said
Needy?
Naya, but then
Needy?
I was watching one of her videos and then someone said Needy, I think. Needy?
Needy? I have a friend whose name is Needy too. Needy.
Needy. Hello. I
I'm
know, they're
sorry if
about
I'm
the
saying it
same
wrong.
time.
Correct me because nobody says my name properly. So I would love for you to
Really?
correct me.
I think Bisma is
Yeah.
wait, it's Bismack. I feel like it's a
It's
grand name to say.
yeah, it's Bisma, but it's like I I'm fine either way. But I totally understand. It's like, and also I don't blame you because like you're like from Ireland and my name does not exist over there. Like, but Americans, like you guys need to get your shit together and say it properly.
Oh, I hope you enjoy it though. Invisible, it's so good. You really need to start it like pronto. It's so good. Even though
I haven't.
everyone who says like they start, it says, what am I even saying? They say it starts off really slow for them, but for some reason I thought it was like fast paced throughout the whole thing. I don't even know why, but
I don't know. For me, the thing about V.E. Schwab, because I read one other book, I need to finish the series, but it's called Vicious,
mm,
and I really loved it.
mm,
But I get what they're saying. Like she does a lot of world building, but
yeah,
in order to read a fantasy book, like even in every fantasy book, like the first 100 pages is a lot of world building. Once
yeah,
you know what's going on in the world, understand the magic system and
it's
everything,
easier then.
then you can pick up and go. That's the thing
Mm,
about like books like that. So
mm.
for me, I'm okay with that. And I really enjoyed it.
I really want to read more of her books now, but what was
I
that book
have it. I
that's
had
really
to finish it.
popular from her? Like something
Is it
Shadows
the A
Gathering.
Darker Shade of Magic?
Yeah, that's the one. I've heard I've heard mixed things about it actually, so I don't know. Because I really like this book, and people are saying that this book is a lot better than Gathering of Shadows. So I don't know, or Gathering of
hmm
Darkness.
I feel like
So
again, B. Schwab is that person that I've read one book and I wasn't disappointed, but it's like
mm,
her, Cassandra Clare, like books like I feel like fantasy books, everybody has a different outlook, so just read it for
yeah,
yourself and get it because there's been a lot of people who have like dissuaded me from reading books and sometimes I really like regret it
mm,
because what if it's like my most favorite book?
yeah, yeah. It's not my fave. Feel like some of it's been slow. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like my experience of the book was so different from most people's. I don't know. I was flying through the book like there was no tomorrow.
hmm
People thought it was slow, which I understand. I love Irish Shop, so I was so excited.
You know, I was
Got
like,
around
I
it.
remember when the news came out that she was writing this book. I feel like all of
Yeah,
BookTube has just been waiting for her to release it, and I can't believe it came out. I
yeah,
remember like a year ago, everybody was like, "She's writing this secret new book. We have no idea what it's about, but she's gonna write
yeah,
it." And authors like her and like Cassandra Clare and like Sarah J. Maas, it's I don't know if it's scary for them because if you have that
it
big of an
probably
audience,
is.
like aren't you worried that like your new series in a different direction, like people might absolutely hate it? But that's like
Yeah,
what comes with writing. But it's like nerve
yeah.
wracking. If it was me, I would be like, oh shit. Like I'm trying something different, guys. Please don't hate it.
I suppose it's just like taking risks. They probably have to do that
Yeah.
sometimes. To...
And it worked out for her.
Yeah, it is. Most people really enjoy it. To be fair, I don't know what it is. It's just it's got better towards. Yeah, it gets a lot better towards the end if you weren't really enjoying the start.
But I
It's
get
quite
it. Like
interesting.
a lot of people read books to like escape, and if the book is
Mm,
taking a long time to get into the good parts, I get that it's hard to keep reading.
yeah,
But some books are worth it. Like they're worth it. But for readers
yeah,
like that, I would recommend like maybe romance books. But then see, people like high fantasy want to get right into it. But for me, like
mm,
even though I love like action scenes, it doesn't make sense if they're doing shit and I have no idea what they're doing in the setting and
yeah,
everything. Because I like to imagine it in my head. I want to be like, oh, like they're right here and everything, and they're
yeah.
using this sword, and this is why it's important, and all that. So I need the background information.
I get that. I get that. Oh, that's so cool. I've never met another.
Me,
Oh, you could like join each other up. Your friends and a needy become like a part of a gang or something.
other
It's like not
needy,
needy.
needy. Am I saying it right? Police
Neither.
correct. Needy.
If I looked at that
It's
now,
like
I would
that?
think it's neither. That sounds horrible. Like
Is
I'm
it
totally saying
needy?
that wrong.
That's how I see it, but
Needy.
needy.
That's probably right.
Needy. Needy. Yeah, Vicious is good. I have
need to read that.
Vengeful. I've had it for so long. The sequel to Vicious, I just have never got into it. Every year, I'm like, okay, yes, like new year, I'm gonna finish the series, and I never do.
Yeah.
But
Do
the
you like?
concept of Vicious is cool.
Have you like a lot of series that you haven't finished, or are you a person who like finishes the series like straight away?
Well, I'm the person that usually finishes the series right away, because if the books are out, I'll be like, yes, like let's just binge read it. Binge reading is so much fun.
It's so
but
nice
as I've
because you're so immersed in the story.
Yeah, and it's so much more fresh in your
Yeah,
head. So there's no like you don't have to wait a year. And then like with Chain of
Yeah.
Gold, like I remember a lot of stuff, but I probably will have to either like spark notes it, like get some summary of it, or just reread the whole thing again because I want it to be like really good. But recently, because I've been reading a lot more romance, I haven't been reading as many fantasy, so I have so many. And I was planning on making a vlog where I just like read all of these sequels to books that I started. Like I started The Beautiful.
Yeah.
I have not read The Damned.
Oh,
I have
yes.
not gotten to that. And everybody's like, "Oh my god, this one's so good! Like just read it." And I'm like, "I know. I'm sorry. I just started books that I'm sorry. It's just like I think with 2020, like with just 2020 whole shit going on, I was like, I need to read like quick, easy books that don't require a lot of big like brain energy. I need to be in something else. And again, like I was saying, like fantasy require you to pay attention, remember the magic system, all that.
Remember names. For me, it's always names. Oh. You're frozen for me.
Oh, okay. Is that good?
Okay, you're back. You're back. Back in business.
Did I leave or something?
No, you're just frozen for like a couple of seconds. Oh, look at the fairy lights. I'm bringing the whole vibes. Wait, where's the other one?
I know. When you were grabbing the book, I was talking about how my fairy lights over on my bedside, like I have a whole empty wall, so I decided to hang these like long fairy lights on them, and it's ran out of battery, and I need to get batteries, but every time I go out, I get. So I love to turn them on. You know, like after you're done reading, you're just laying in bed and it's just time to sleep, but you get on your phone for 1 more hour and it turns into 2 hours. I just love having those lights on because it makes me feel like I'm in like a coming of age movie, and I'm like, yes, I am that aesthetic.
Honestly, you know the books actually last time on the last reading sprint you're on about, or you're talking about the contemporary books. They're literally stuck in my head. Like I haven't read the book at all, but I keep on envisioning the scenarios
Adam
what
Connor?
you described.
Adam Connor.
Yeah,
to hate Adam Connor.
Yeah, and then some other one, and it's just in my head all the time. I don't know why.
Please read it so you can vent to me. I'll let you. You can DM me and we can talk about it while you read it. But I'm telling you, I have not read a romance book that has made me laugh that hard, has gotten me so invested so quickly. I was like, oh shit, like I need to read this. It was so good. Like it was so good, and I would read more books with them if I could.
So really I love books that are just funny, just like funny books. Oh, your little dinner, your little plate of food. Ooh, what is that? Is that chips?
Sorry, I just realized I muted myself. This is me in Zooms all the time. It's just like onion rings, a couple of onion rings, and just some fries.
I've never had onion rings before, actually. I'm kind of scared of them.
I don't know why. Honestly, I love onion rings. My sister hates them, but the issue with it is that she doesn't know how to like. The thing about onion rings is if you eat it by itself, it's not going to be that good. You have to have a good ketchup, a good hot sauce, a good like seasoning or something. You can't just like
tips by tips
like
here.
You can't just have it by yourself. Like you can't just be like, oh, like let me have like the same thing with fries. Like fries are good, but when you put like when you put like a good like dip, That's why like Chick-fil-A
changer.
in America is so popular because their sauces are good. Like
I always hear about Chick-fil-A. I'm like, I can't
it's so
relate.
good.
Maybe
And I'm
like
telling
Burger
you,
King
it's
over
like the waffle fries on their own are good. But bro,
here.
once you have them with like the sauces, you can never go back. You can never have them by themselves. You're like the sauces. I wish I could order like whatever sauce they make. I wish they sold it in bulk or something so I could keep it in my house and just have it. It's so good. I don't know what they do. They're probably putting some weird thing in it, but it's good and it does really good for them.
Yeah, they're probably putting in like addictive chemicals into it. And then
It's
you're
a
like,
bit of like freaking magic or something.
yeah, maybe yeah, magic could be a contender. And oh god, darker shade of magic. Oh yeah, I was like so confused there. I just love her books so I can make. I really want to read more books. I definitely should.
Mhm.
Hello,
Hi.
how are you? I have not a clue what nationality needy is. Needy is.
Yes, that was right. I think that was right.
Was it needy?
I think so.
I can hope so.
Don't worry. I gave you a pass just because like I'm serious. Like there's people here in America that just like don't pronounce things properly and I'm like, you guys made the English language. How are you not how are what?
Can you pronounce your name again? Actually,
It's Bisma. The S is like softer. Like
it's
you know?
okay.
It's okay.
I'm so shit at names. Oh my god. I know Irish names when Irish names like Sive or like Anya, when I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, it's grand, but then I just can't with names. I'm just terrible.
That's me with like Desi names. Like whenever I see like Needy or like I see like I don't know other names, I'm like, yes, I know how to say it properly, but any other name,
Yeah,
I will not be able to pronounce it.
yeah. I can only read one book in a series and I need to break. I can't binge read. Oh. Binge reading for me is always better for my reading experience. But I
For
suppose
me, it's like it has to be really good. Like it has to be like Harry Potter, or it has to be like Cassandra Clare that like you have to binge it because
yeah.
maybe it's because you haven't found the book series that really makes you feel that way because there has to be like you haven't found the right guy, the right book, the right characters. Maybe, but I don't know. I like love it. Like for example, I remember when I was reading the Diviner series. I haven't finished yet, but I think I read the first 3 books. But I binge read them and I audiobooked them. And honestly, that series, if you read the Diviners, audiobook it. It's so long, but audiobooking it, the person who does it so well. Like the voices and then just the feeling. It feels like you're back in the 1920s. So I loved that. But it's like binging series that are really, really good. Then it makes all the difference.
Oh my god, I almost burped there.
Sarah, but Sarah, please read Adam to Hate Adam Connor. I'm telling you, it's gonna be so quick. It's so good.
I think I put it in my TBR on Goodreads, maybe.
Uh-huh.
I think so. I think I did it last.
Am I the only weird one? But when I see like my friends like reading books that I just read, it makes me feel like wow, like we're going to the experience together.
I feel so good when someone's reading or like a book I just read and I liked it. It makes me so happy. There's plenty of books in the sea. There is true.
So many.
Plenty of fish in the sea. Plenty of books. That's a good reference, actually. Do you want to do another reading sprint?
Yes, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick, and then well, we can start the reading sprint to use the bathroom again. But we're not timing me using the bathroom.
Well, we'll see. I wonder if you'll beat your record from last time. I don't know what it was, but like, if anyone remembers,
was it like 3 minutes?
Was it 3? I don't know how long. I don't think it was 3 minutes though.
I don't know. Wait, there's one more comment.
Emily, oh my god, I have the first book in the diaries. I really need to read them. Yeah, you need to read it. After you read Invisible Life, Addie LaRue, though. Emily's reading that book. I wonder how it's going. Emily, are you reading it? Are you enjoying it?
How's honestly, it going? The Diviners is like really good. Like I don't even know how to explain it.
I like the
cover. It's kind of those. like yeah, the thing about the book is like it's kind of those books where you start it and you don't expect it to be like revolutionary. Like you like the
Mm.
characters, but you don't think it's gonna be a 5-star read.
Yeah.
But it pretends like it's not doing a lot, but then it like comes back and it's like bam, bam, bam. Like this is why all this happened, and you're like, and then you realize
Yeah.
like, especially with like she reminds me of like Cassandra Clare, where every single plot scene comes back either in that book series or comes back in
Oh, I
another
love
series,
that.
and you're like, oh shit, like this. The author doesn't do anything without it meaning something, and that's what I
Mm.
love. I love when there's like foreshadowing. As a reader, and I read a lot, like you can tell when an author is foreshadowing, but with
Mm.
authors like that, you don't know like which part of this is gonna come back. And
Yeah.
for me, I love like murder mystery. So
Mm.
there's like a murder mystery going on in the first couple books. So it's like for me, it's just like I love being like who done it, and I always know who did it. Oh, but I was so wrong. It's because my watch the true crime. I'm like I know you did it, but it's like with her books, I did not know who did it. I was like
You're constantly on your
but
toes.
I swear. But I love books who do that, like I love
Mm.
books that
Not
everything
predictable.
intertwines, it makes sense. And then it just makes me think about like the author, like how much time it took for her to plan out all these
Yeah.
books, not just the first one. Like she made this whole world and stuck to it and is like doing really cool things with it just because she can keep track. And I don't know if I could be an author like that.
you you definitely don't have to give yourself this many expectations. You can literally just write a book and just like if it's it's good English, it's you're doing well. Like you don't need to like compare yourself to these massive ass authors. you know.
Mm-hmm.
God, I may have stopped. Emily, how could you? I was only a few pages in and I wasn't in the mood. I'm currently rereading Anne and the French Kiss. I just need an easy book. Yeah, Anne and the French Kiss it's a good book. Have you read that book actually?
I've never read it. I think for
Oh,
me,
it's awesome.
I didn't read it. I don't know. I feel like it was overhyped, and it kind of reminds me of like the Selection series that like the
Oh, I've
romance is
never
like
read that
hot
series.
in the moment, and so I just never read it. I feel like I
Mm.
didn't. I think I missed the time in my life where I like to read books like that. Like there was a time where I loved to read like books like abroad and like romance and stuff. For me, like to read a
Yeah,
book
yeah.
like that, it would have to be like there has to be another plot line. I just don't like books like that anymore.
I get that.
Current, because you never know in the future.
I will get back to Ireland. Don't even worry, Emily. Just take your time. Take your time. And then French Kiss is
No, take your
good.
time. Like when you read books, any fantasy, any book in general, like if you don't have the time and the patience, don't read it because you're gonna feel miserable the whole time.
Yeah, that was me with from Blood and Ash. I just
Hmm.
even though I put it down because I just couldn't anymore.
See, that's why like I haven't started it yet because I feel like I'm not in the mind frame to read it, and I don't want to judge
Mm.
it just because I don't want to read it right now because my brain
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
handle it.
yeah, yeah. That's exactly my predicament. That's why I put it down because I feel like I'll be unfairly judging it. Yeah, and it isn't the best, but it's kind of addicting. Yeah, it's like trashy good, or it's not
I
trashy. Like
know, but
it's grand, but like so
I
addicting.
just feel like I passed that point because I like the trashy books that I like are different now. When I
Mm.
was younger, I feel like when I was like maybe like 14, I feel like that would have been my perfect time because during that time I would read
Yeah,
anything about anybody about anything in that moment. But now
yeah,
I
yeah,
realize like I'm too critical, so
yeah.
I don't feel
It's
like it
so
would do anything
sad.
good. I
Yeah,
know. I feel like I'm becoming like an adult and being so cynical, and I'm like,
yeah,
this makes no sense. I would probably be like, Anna, you're such an idiot. What are you doing? So I just probably can't read it.
yeah, yeah. I remember some of the stuff. Like in the moment, I was like, "This is amazing," but like if I read it again, I'd be like, "Was that was that good?
Yes. Once you
Was
like
that a good movie?"
experience the world like more, you're like,
Mm.
there's no way in hell that could happen. And as I
Yeah,
read
yeah,
more romance books, some of the authors like they just can't write guys like. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you can tell that it's from a female's perspective of what a man would act like.
yeah.
So then it puts me
I
out the
can see that.
story because you know for me personally, I don't think like men are like completely like it's not all about sex. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, women, like, not all authors do this, obviously, like, but like even men do it sometimes. You know, like in books when a guy writes a girl, you're like, oh yeah, a guy wrote this about a girl. Like, this is what he thinks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard, and I feel like for me, it takes me out the story either way. Like, if a guy is writing a girl like that and it's not accurate to me or how I think that women are, it takes me out. And also, like, in the book, because I think, you know, I get it that guys do like sex, and so do girls. Like, women like it as well, but it's just like, you can't make his whole line about
not
like,
as vocally.
oh, my heart, his whole life, his whole life being a complete douchebag. You know, it's just like,
I get that. I get that, like that too sometimes, but sometimes I just you're just in the mood.
You know what
sometimes.
I do? You know what I do? I read, like, when I'm in the mood to read a really trashy book, I read about, like, there's this particular trope that I read where it's like the girl is, or like either way, like the girl is in love with the guy, but the guy is in love with somebody else, to break my heart and break her heart together, so we can both be crying in the club. Like, we're just crying in the corner, like, you know, like, have you heard Conan Gray's song Heather? It's just like literally that song. It's like, but I know you like her better. Wish I were Heather. I'm like, yes. And I just sit there, torture myself, and read that book and act like I'm the main character and he doesn't like me. Just literally, I do that just to hurt myself. But then he
eventually does. I feel like they always do.
Oh yeah, my favorite thing is like, what my favorite moment in books like that is like when she finally realizes that, wait, like, I'm a bad bitch. Like, I don't need to be with him. Like, damn, what am I standing here for? Like, why am I wasting my time with this person when I could go find a relationship that actually works for me? That's my favorite part. And then like she stops trying, and then he's like, oh shit, she's not like indispensable. And I'm like, really? And then for me, I like it when the author draws it out and it's not an immediate resolution. Like, it draws it out. Like, you make him work for him. It's not fun if it's like 1 week and then they're like, we're married now and have 5 kids. I'm like, no, you need to draw this out.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. There's also a lot of stereotypes about shitty things in the books. I never used to see dodgy things when I was younger or reading books.
Okay, so this reminds me of something. So, like, 2 days ago, I tried to read this book called Corrupt. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's like really popular. And I tried to read it, and I get why people like it. It's like a dark romance, like very edgy, like vibes, like not normal, like, regular romance. It's like dark, edgy. But I was reading it, you know, and I realized if a couple of years ago, when I used to read Wattpad, when I was like 11, 12 or something, I would probably be like, oh my god, like, this is a really good book. And I was reading it and I was like, this is so weird. And I feel like and I was trying to read it because this girl on TikTok had recommended it, and every time I read a book that somebody on TikTok has recommended so far, it's been shit, and I'm like, okay, what are you guys reading? Because I'm just like, okay, like, I tried, but it's just not good, and it was so messed up. Like, then I see like so many people like it, and I'm trying not to judge people for liking it, but it's like really messed up. If you see, like, there's a lot of trigger warnings in the book that I just and like, they get a happily ever after. Like, I couldn't read it. I read like the first 4 or 5 chapters, and like, I really gave it my shot, and I was like, yes, like, I want to read it. The characters were horrible. The only thing good was like was the sex scenes in general. But like, for me, I couldn't justify it. I couldn't justify continuing it because I was like, it's so wrong. There's no way that this can be justified. And it, like, there was a lot of trigger warnings, and it was like, I'm like, seriously, like, if you're ever gonna read Corrupt, I forgot the author's name, but just Corrupt in the series, like, please look up the trigger warnings before you read it, because it's really messed up. And I hate how the author just justifies it and they just end up together, and it's like, what the hell? How, in what world is this okay? It's just, it's
I don't
horrifying.
think I'll ever read that book now. It sounds bad.
Right, and it's just like, I get why people liked it because of the scenes. Like, the sex scenes were really good, but I just feel like you can't justify the whole book. Just because, and I feel like there wasn't a real discussion about why everything that they did was wrong. I just feel like there was no discussion on the impacts of what they're doing and everything. And
Yeah.
honestly, all the characters in the book were just horrible. And
One-dimensional.
yeah, no, not even one dimensional. It was kind of like, oh, we're rich boys, and we got that's the premise of the book. It's like, oh, we're rich boys, but we got sent to jail, and now we want revenge. And it's like, and literally one of the lines was like, oh, we're rich, and I didn't expect us to like. They thought they were above the law, and I was shocked too that they got sent to prison because in America, rich people get away with literally anything.
Yeah.
But like they were mad that they got sent to prison, so now they want this like big revenge thing going on, and I'm just like
What?
so you know what you did was wrong, but you're mad that you got caught, and now
Mm.
you want revenge, and it's like
Have you read the books, Paper Princess?
no, but I saw the controversies on that a little. I've not read
Yeah,
them.
it's kind of like Rich Boys too, but for some reason I
Yeah,
absolutely loved it. I just fucking loved it.
I
It
have
was
not read
addictive.
it. I just have not. Honestly, for me, it was just like it was like, oh, we're rich boys, but our family life isn't good, so like this is why we do these bad things. and
Yeah.
it and I get it, like for me, and again, I'm not in their shoes, but at the
Mm.
same time it's just like people can grow up in really bad households and not turn out to be complete assholes.
Yeah.
And it just felt like you have so many resources and all this stuff, and like I'm not judging them, I'm not in their place. I'm not judging people who are reading the book, but for me, as I've gotten older, I just can't justify reading things like that because I
Yeah.
feel like even though I'm not doing anything explicitly, but it's just like I can't, my conscience won't let me continue reading books like that. It just pisses me off, and I'm like, they're just as horrible. And then
Mm.
the author didn't even, like I said before, like the author didn't even try to make a conversation about it. And like one of the things, it was one of the trigger warnings like underage like relationships. So like that's one of them. And I feel like there was this one thing that one of the characters said that really pissed me off, and that's when I knew I was not going to finish the book, no matter how
Yeah.
good. I was like, oh wow, like that's how you think. And then it just pissed me off. It was like reading from a privileged white boy's point of view, and I was like, no,
Oh, that's
take
not
me out,
good.
take me
Yeah.
out.
Do you want to go to the toilet now and we'll start the sprints?
Yes, I'll be right back.
No matters. I need to share my screen. Is everyone ready for a new sprint? If I can get the timer and the screen, can you see it? You can. Okay. 20 minutes. Are you ready to rumble? Okay, let's go. I'm back. That took a while.
Oh my god.
How much did you end up reading?
I'm almost read 50 pages.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm almost
I'm
finished the book.
really Yeah.
Oh god. I've I think 10 pages left, which is great.
Oh my god. How
I think I might
much
end
do
this
you like?
soon, maybe. Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
grand. It's
You
I
can
don't know
end it in like 10 minutes?
yeah. I don't know what rating to give the book. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know. It's a grand book. I'm going through it really fast, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I just
I
don't
think
know.
just give yourself time and think about it. Like sometimes it happens to me where I'm like, I don't know. I think also because I feel like you don't feel remarkably changed by the book. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing like life changing about it.
Yeah. Well, what
I
page
feel like
am I on?
I think when I first read it, I gave it like 5 stars or something, or maybe 4 stars. But I feel like now I would probably give it like a 3.5, something like that. I don't think it's like amazing. I
Yeah.
liked certain aspects of it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Romance books for Valentine's Day.
I've been actually trying to post this video that are basically romance books for Valentine's Day, but it's just not exporting properly, and it exported, but
Whoa.
like my audio is just not in sync. Like you can hear me saying it, but like the video isn't in sync with the audio, and it's so annoying. So I've
Do
been
you
trying to
film it on
figure
your
it out.
phone?
Yeah, I filmed them on this so I got a new phone this year, so I film on my old phone and then I edit on my computer. But it's literally taking so long. I have no idea.
Do you have an iPhone or do you have an Android?
Yeah, I have an iPhone.
Don't they have iMovie already in the phone? You could edit it on that. That's what I do.
Yeah, I used iMovie for a long time, but I started using this new app called VN. They just made like a computer version because I've used their phone version for a long time. But I don't know why. I think it's because this is like their first time doing a computer version. There's a lot of errors and stuff, but I like using it because it's just it allows me to do so much more. It's kind of like using Final Cut Pro, like the really expensive ones, but it's so much more affordable. So I feel like it's worth it because I film and edit everything. It's only every time that my computer has an update, I guess the software just is weird after that. So I think maybe it just needs to be updated. But I'm just waiting for the updates. But it's a really good app, so I just love using it.
Interesting. I've got 35 pages left. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think I've less than 10 pages left.
Oh my
which is
god.
good for me. I'm already 2 books behind in my Goodreads goal. It's so not satisfying. I want to be ahead.
The only reason why I'm ahead is I've been reading so many romance books.
Yeah.
That it doesn't take
They're
that
so
much
easy
time
to get through. They're so easy to get through.
Yeah. And I saw you said you only read 3 books in January, but you read so many fantasy books. So
yeah,
don't expect to read 50 fantasy books.
Yeah. I want to
Yeah.
read more romance because I haven't read it in obviously. Okay, wait. I'm reading kind of romance, but I haven't read it in a really long time. I've just read fantasy. I was only in the mood for fantasy. I've had this book for a couple months. It's from the library, and I've had it for a couple months. It's definitely overdue, but I don't know. I've never been in the mood. We're just I just want some witches or some vampires or some supernatural stuff going on.
Yeah. I have just not been in the mood to read fantasy, and then it's after you don't read a type of genre for a long time, you feel so hesitant to read it again. So I'm reading a little bit more of this. This reminded me that I can read fantasy. That it's not hard to read fantasy.
Yeah. That's good. I actually love rereading books. It's something I
Mhm.
found out recently. I love doing it. I know some people just can't reread a book,
Mhm.
which I
For
think is
me,
interesting.
I don't reread books unless like a sequel's coming and I forgot what
Mm,
happened.
yeah,
Or they have to be really good. Like the only books that I've ever reread are the Harry Potter books, but that's because I adore them.
yeah,
But
yeah,
other than that, it's the same thing with like TV shows for me and movies. Like I don't rewatch movies unless I
yeah.
loved it. Like it has to be
Mm,
amazing. And the only TV show that I've ever rewatched like fully
yeah.
is like The Office. I love The Office. It's like so
I
basic.
really need
Everybody
to
loves,
watch it.
but I love it. You should watch it. I'm telling you. I know
It'd be so
for me, I
funny.
never watched it because I was like, oh wow, like it's just so boring. They work at a paper company.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I was
watch it.
thinking.
It's so funny. You're gonna love it.
I see clips
You're
of it,
gonna
and your
love it.
man is so funny. I should really watch it.
Every
Is it
and
on
the funny part
Netflix?
is like, yes, it's on Netflix.
Ooh, nice.
It's on American now. Oh no, it's not. I think they took it off. NBC, like,
Did they?
yes, they just took it off in December. They took it off because I guess their network is making their own app, so they want it on theirs.
Yeah.
So it's annoying, but you
Mm.
can still watch it.
I finished Gilmore Girls today, and I'm really sad.
I've never watched it. I feel like it's
It's
overhyped, but I don't know if I want to watch it.
I think it's so witty. Like the main characters are just continuous, like wittiness. Like there's no like dull moment. Um,
Hmm.
and it just like focuses on mother and daughter relationship, what I think is amazing. And I don't know, I just
Hmm.
really like this. And their
Maybe I'll
style
watch
too. Their early
it. Hmm.
2000, like late 90s style, immaculate. Good
I
stuff.
know.
I miss it. I miss all of it.
I'm currently into like just dark academia. Like I'm obsessed with it. It's just like
Mm.
life for me. I just love it. I think I don't know. I just love it a lot. It just
Mm.
I don't know. I like that I can thrift. Like I don't you know how like different styles require you to like completely change your wardrobe and stuff. For
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
like I can borrow pieces. I can like I don't know, take it and make it dark academia. And the thing about like dark academia is it doesn't have to be like suit and like tie or whatever. Like it could be
Yeah.
anything that you make it just like maybe like a button down or I don't know. It's like different
Mm.
ways that you can style it. And I just like thrifted a lot of my clothes for it. So I don't even feel bad because I feel like it's really sustainable.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
love like trying different aesthetics. But right now dark academia is just my favorite to do.
It's your go-to. Um, should we finish it
Yeah.
now? 3 hours, 10 minutes. It's pretty good.
Yes.
We did very good.
It didn't even
So
feel like 3 hours.
yeah, I know it's weird.
I feel like it went by faster this time than the last time.
Yeah, I think we did it for longer last time. Only for a little bit though, a little
Yeah,
bit longer.
like
Like
I
three
think like
hours.
maybe 30 more
Yeah,
minutes, maybe.
yeah,
We really hope you guys enjoyed this live.
yeah. Hope you had a lot of reading done. Um,
You know what? I claim this channel as mine and Sarah's channel. We have a joint channel now.
yeah, it's just two of us. Like
Everything
it's just
she
us.
posts is CC'd by me. I approve it. Produced by me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You put up the
Oh
camera
my
angle
god.
and everything, even though you live in
Uh-huh.
America and I live in Ireland,
Mhm.
but still.
Yes, I review the footage. I
Yeah,
edit
yeah.
it. I do
Everything. I'm just basically the person
everything.
who sits there and just talks.
She's just the influencer. I'm the
I'm
company
I'm
behind
just
her.
the influencer. Oh my god.
Oh my god. That reminds me of the conversation we had about influencers.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
Okay. Anyways, it was a great time.
thanks for watching.
Yes. Thank you, Bisma, for joining me again. I'm really grateful that you come on.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it. I had
It's
even
a
more
good
fun
time.
this time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like more funner. That's not really a word. It's getting more fun or
Fun. Yeah.
yeah,
Like
as
we're
the
getting
times
used
goes
to
on.
hosting it because we're
Yeah.
like yeah.
Even though my
All right, guys.
internet is just like but it's good now, but like it was bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And
okay.
next time wear headphones. I think that helps with the
Yeah,
echo.
I should
Your sound
yeah,
is
I'll
so
do
much
that.
better now.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
a crisp where's the speaker? Can you like directly hear me?
Mhm.
Nice.
beautifully.
Anyways, okay. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Bismillah, for coming. Hope you have a great night,
Of course.
day, evening, wherever you are.
Subscribe to our channels.
Yeah, subscribe. Okay. Peace out, everyone.
Bye.